Welcome to our show. You're listening to Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections, a place to learn about and celebrate creative arts therapy. Each week we'll explore new ways that music, art, and dance can reach, connect with, and help individuals of all stages of health and wellness. Hi, I'm Bree Bynan, a board-certified music therapist and the managing partner for the Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute. Tune in as I interview professionals from healthcare and educational backgrounds on the impact of the creative arts. If you prefer to watch our live video stream, simply visit www.pbmti.com. Hello, thank you so much for joining us tonight. You're listening to and watching Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. Apologize that we did not have a show last week unexpectedly at the last minute. We did have to cancel as we were preparing for Hurricane Matthew. I am very, I can't express how thankful I am that thankfully we here in the South Florida area just got really lucky. We got missed, but I know my heart, and I'm sure many of those listening today or watching today are with those up north who were not so fortunate, and also down in Haiti and the Bahamas as well. We've seen the power of nature of what could have been in our area. And while we're so thankful that we didn't have to deal with that, also obviously thinking of all of those who are dealing with the repercussions of that at this time. So again, we apologize. We did have an incredible show planned, and thankfully we were able to move all of that to this week. So I am really, really excited to share my guest with you later on in the program. Today is a local singer-songwriter, just incredible talent. I'm all jazzed up. I mean, it was kind of like one of those gray days, and it was kind of like dragging on. And I thought, okay, I'm coming down here. It took me forever to drive here in the traffic. It's drizzly out. And then we just met in the last 10 minutes. We've just been jamming in the waiting room here. And I'm like, my energy is through the roof. So I can't wait to share with you all just a little sampling of what we got to do, although very quietly. We don't have to be quiet anymore. And we get to share that with you guys. So I'm really excited about that. If you were able to check us out for the last show we did 2 weeks ago, was our first annual celebration. It was celebrating 1 year of shows. I can't believe it's been a year already. I've got to talk to some incredible people, over 50 interviews over the past year, just of different people doing some amazing work out in the community. Again, if you're new to the program, what we do here is we shine a spotlight on those who are out there bringing music, bringing art, bringing dance, bring anything a little bit creative outside of the box to reach others, to connect others, to bring comfort. So we talk to music therapists and other creative arts therapists, music volunteers that are giving of their time to bring a smile, musicians and artists and dancers who are out there sharing what they love, sharing their passion, but with that understanding of what that can bring to the community. And there's just, for me personally, and I think many people agree, there's nothing like it. There's nothing that reaches people quite like these creative outlets, because it's something that connects us all. It's something that binds all of us. There's a lot of division going on out there. You know, we're obviously very close to a heated political race. You will not hear me talk about that on this show, because again, there's a lot of things out there that we don't agree on. You know, there's a lot of things that make us different, and we celebrate those differences, but something that can bring us together is music. So I'm just thrilled to be able to celebrate that today. What I want to talk about today, kind of my theme, is music as a therapy. You know, we all understand, no matter what level you use it in your own lives, either personal or professional, that music can be therapeutic, but it can be so therapeutic for us. It's such a big part of our self-care, whether we realize it or not. You know, I mentioned the drive down here not being too great. Stuck in traffic, stuck in the rain, and I'll tell you exactly what got me through is just turning up that dial and finding something that I knew all the words to and could rock out to, and the time passes like this. All my stress just melts away. And for some people, that might be classical music. For some people, that might be jazz. For some people, that might be hip-hop or classic rock or country. It's different for all of us, but we know that it's music that can kind of either get us out of a place, you know, changes our environment. It can relax us. It can motivate us. I know the only reason I ever, and it wasn't long-lived, you know, on this show, I'm very open with my not always the greatest healthy habits, but I do try to run and exercise sometimes. I do try. I'll tell you, the only thing that got me excited about it was because I got new headphones that I could listen to. All right, this is what I'm going to do. If I can run from here to there, I've listened to these songs, that's going to get me through. Other than that, forget it. Forget it. So music motivates, it relaxes us. Could you imagine going to a wedding or a birthday party or any kind of celebration and no music being on? I just can't even fathom it. I mean, so in happy times and celebrations, music is what brings people together. Think about it. Have you ever gone to a party and been out on the dance floor and looked around and not really known who you were dancing with? I just had this experience this weekend. Made all these new friends. I didn't know anybody I was dancing with, but that song came on. I was out there and I was having a great time. It connects people faster than anything else I can imagine. The only thing I think comes close is a good meal. So if you've got a good meal and you've got music on, you're set. That's everything. That's perfect. So it's, as we're heading into the holidays here, we're starting to get into fall. The Jewish high holidays are on us currently, and to those who celebrate, and I wish you a happy New Year and an easy fast. And as we move into, Thanksgiving and Christmas and Hanukkah and all this, it's going to be here before we know it. New Year's, it goes so fast. So just kind of taking this time to appreciate these small moments when we can really come together with the family and friends that we're lucky enough to have around us as the holidays are upon us, and just appreciate these moments for what they are. Music is a great option for that. Reach out to your parents or grandparents and find out what music was special to them. Hey, what did you listen to, at holidays when you were growing up? And I think you'd be amazed. You probably learn things about your own family just by connecting with them through music and through the albums they would listen to. Oh, the old we would put Broadway standards on the records, and I would dance with, my father. And I learned so much about people in my life and in my work life just by connecting through the music that they love. It shares so much about them. We all have a soundtrack, right, to our lives. We have just the special songs that define our relationships, that define our experiences, and we can just learn so much about each other by sharing that. So, all right, I've talked enough today. Like I said, I don't want to talk. I want to make music today. I'm all jazzed up for this. So you are at the mercy of my self-care music for our sing-along today. And it had to be the Beatles. I had to choose the Beatles. That was the first thing I ever did when I learned the guitar. I've been a musician my whole life, and mostly a vocalist. So picking up an instrument, I was like, okay, that's great. Yeah, I understand the strings. Yeah, I understand where my fingers go. But it wasn't until I got that Beatles chord book that I was like, yes, I'm going to stay up all night and spend all my time learning this instrument so that I can play. So this is a song that I learned that is just, not only is it beautiful, and it's the Beatles, which I love, but it's just kind of a cool message for this time when there's a lot going on, just to kind of remind us to take a moment, sit back, relax, and enjoy what we have with our friends and our family around us. Words are flowing out like endless rain into a paper cup. They slither while they pass, they slip away into the universe. Pools of sorrow, waves of joy are drifting through my open mind, possessing and caressing me. Jai Guru Deva Om. Nothing's gonna change my world. 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 Images of broken light which dance before me like a million eyes. They call me on and on across the universe. Thoughts meander like a restless wind inside a letterbox. They tumble blindly as they make their way across the universe. Jai Guru Deva Om. Nothing's gonna change my world. 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 Jai Guru Deva. Jai Guru Deva. Jai Guru Deva. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Stick around as we come back from our quick commercial break. I'm going to be introducing you to Ricky Valita. We're going to hear some amazing music today. Stick around.
Mom's fall was a wake-up call. We knew she needed help, but we also knew she'd never leave her home.
With jobs and kids, we can't always be there. We weren't sure who to trust to help around the house and make sure she takes her medications.
We did our research and found our answer. Bright Star Care. Their home care teams are led by registered nurses, with help available 24/7.
Thanks to Bright Star Care, Mom can stay where she wants to be, at home.
For a standard of care that raises the bar, call 844 for Bright Star.
The Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute is a professional music therapy practice serving medical, community, and educational settings throughout Southeast Florida. With our experienced team of 11 board-certified music therapists, we use music and research-based therapeutic interventions to help individuals of all ages and abilities reach their goals and increase their quality of life. For more information on our services and programs, please visit our website at pbmti.com. Engage with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or call us at 561-747-9944. You are listening to Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. If you'd like to join the conversation, the toll-free number is 888-565-1470. Now back to the show. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. You're listening to and watching Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. I'm your host, Bree Bynan, a board-certified music therapist here with the Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute here in South Florida. If you missed our intro today, I'm just kind of setting it up to let you know that we are sharing about music as therapy and when it's for the musician. There's so many of us who, as musicians, we give a lot. We spend a lot of our time giving of our talent. And I think it's so important that we kind of remind ourselves from time to time, why did we get into this? You know, why do we love what we do, which we do. I think musicians are some of the most passionate people in the world. And what is music giving back to us? And I think I've got an excellent person here with me today to share about that passion. Ricky, thank you so much for being here. And thank you for being flexible as we were originally planned for last week and got rained out. So really appreciate that.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Absolutely,
Appreciate
absolutely. So, Ricky, you've got a lot to share today, a lot of cool things going on. Again, I think that if we're talking about music as a passion and what it means to us, you're a perfect example because you're really, you're young and you're kind of early in your career.
Yes.
And you've got so much exciting stuff ahead of you. So maybe just kind of take us back to your background, what got you interested in music and kind of, what it means to you.
Right. So, music started off, I would say kind of early, like around the age of 8. My dad tried to get me into football, baseball, karate. It didn't work. So my mom was like, hey, take some guitar lessons. So Carlos, which is in the studio with me, he's my original guitar instructor. So he stuck out with me all these years.
Hey, Carlos.
He plays in my band. So, music's been something that's been prominent in my life since an early age, but I really didn't take up songwriting or singing until like after high school or towards the end of high school. So
which was last week.
Which was probably. So I'm pretty new to the songwriting and to the singing world, but I've been inspired by so many different genres of music, not only country. I I listen to everything from, you know, Led Zeppelin to, you know, flamenco music, and just everything kind of melted in together. And then what attracted me to country music was the songwriting. I think country music lends itself to a great songwriting base. So, you know, just listening to artists like George Jones and Johnny Cash and Merle Haggard, all these guys are such well-written artists and such composed artists, you know, not only instrumentalists but songwriters. So that kind of attracted me to country music.
For sure. I think we're at an advantage too, being you know, kind of a younger generation that was exposed to all different genres of music. Like, I feel
Right.
so thankful for that.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not kidding you. I definitely knew, and I always shout it out to my mom, you know, because my mom lives in Tennessee, actually, which is really awesome. I grew up in New York, so like, you know, upstate New York. So it was like kind of country music, but like I never really got into it. Now she's in Tennessee, in the Smoky Mountains, in the birthplace of bluegrass. It is so cool. It's so cool. But anyways, I literally knew more lyrics to Led Zeppelin songs than
Right.
anything I was supposed to know for school. Like, I'd go in for a test and be like, I don't know. I could tell you all of, you know, all of my love, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do for this test. But I knew, she made sure by like age 7, I knew all Led Zeppelin songs. So I appreciate that.
Yes.
I appreciate the education that, and also for my work. You know, I work with senior citizens, so I work
Cool.
in memory care and assisted living facilities, things like that. So all day long, I'm only doing songs from the 40s and 50s. So you know, out in the lobby, you're like, well, I've got some, you know, more recent songs, but I've got Johnny Cash. Like, I know all of the Johnny Cash.
so
Let's
cool.
do that.
Old souls.
Yeah, absolutely. But I
Yes.
do feel like it impacts how we make music.
Right.
You
it
know,
does,
having
it
those
does.
influences older. Would you agree with
Yes,
that?
I certainly agree with that. I mean, you know, I'm influenced by so many of the guys that are so much older than me. You know, sometimes I'm listening to stuff from the 30s, 40s, 50s, and going back and listening to those records. I mean, it's just the sonics and just the songwriting and the vocals and the way things were recorded is so much different from what you hear today. And I appreciate it a lot more, I could say, because it's antiquated, but it's modern at the same time. It's kind of weird because I'm listening to it in a modern day, but you know, you're going back and listening to how stuff was recorded. It's so amazing, you know, to me.
Absolutely. And I think it's cool too, you know, we're going to do some of these later, but when you do covers, it's an awesome way to give back and like pay respect to these artists, but
Correct.
also give it that your own spin on it, which comes from all these different influences.
Right,
That's
exactly
cool.
right, yes.
Is that how you got started with doing covers, or did you start with songwriting?
It's kind of weird. I kind of started like writing out poems and different things. I was in Spanish class, and mind you, I was kind of getting bored in class and started writing these poems, and then I would later bring them in when I would have guitar lessons, and I would show them to Carlos. And he told me, I recall him telling me one day, I don't think you'll be able to sing or songwrite. This can't be happening now. I'm like, yeah. So I sung him one of the songs that I wrote, and then it was history after that. And we started recording. I got my first band together, the Hialeah Hillbillies, which I still call them the Hialeah Hillbillies. They're still with me, even though there's a few different musicians that have changed over the years. But that's kind of like how music started to come into my life. So
That's awesome.
it was kind of like a waterfall effect.
Yeah. And it sounds like you had the right people around you. Carlos, you need a microphone. You want a mic? Carlos needs a microphone
Need a mic.
because I know you're going to be playing some music later.
Awesome, cool. I'll
Can
help
you
out
pull that
here.
down
yes,
for him?
I'll definitely help you out.
Does it go? All right. You're just going to have to play really loud then later,
You
Carlos.
got it.
Yeah, you got this.
You
But
got it.
that's awesome. You know, it takes that too. It does take, as they say, the old cliche, you know, kind of a village sometimes. And like
Right.
having this passion is so awesome, but being supported by obviously your dad
Yes,
and,
very
and,
fortunate
and
indeed.
Carlos and having a great band, what a difference it makes.
It really does, and then it really helped, like you said, foster the whole thing, and
Yeah.
you know, I think passion, like you're saying, passion and enthusiasm towards something that you do really makes it or breaks it. I mean, I'm really passionate about what I do, and I hope to bring my music to not only country listeners but all listeners, you know, from different genres, from people that listen to different kinds of music. I really want my music to touch those people as well.
Yeah,
Like,
be like a bridge, you know,
Exactly.
and intergenerational as well, because you're like we said, honoring those classic styles and honoring
Right.
those artists, but putting a new, fresh spin on it
Oh,
as
yeah.
well. Before we get into a song, I do want to ask you, just because we're kind of talking about the impact that we as musicians feel, you know, when we kind of get into our passion, get involved in it here. So I identify a lot with what you're saying. As again, I'm gonna shout out to my mom. I do this a lot. I pick on her a lot. Is
Hey, Mom.
Exactly. She'll love that. She wanted me to be an athlete so badly.
Right.
Coached every sport. Oldest one wanted me to be a basketball star. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Yikes. It wasn't happening. Like zero coordination. I tried for years. I even tried into high school, and then I literally broke her heart when I said, Mom, you know, I'm going to quit the basketball team because Sound of Music is the musical this year. And I
That could've done it.
I just have to audition for
Yes.
it. It was over.
There it goes.
It was
There went.
done. But here's the good news, Mom. I made a career. I made a living.
you
I
go.
get paid to do what I do now. I wasn't gonna get paid in the WNBA. So, you know, it makes a difference, doesn't it? So it's hard as you're a kid and you want to do certain things, you want to fit in certain ways, and you're not finding your niche. What was that experience like for you when you found music?
Well, it definitely changed my life for sure. You know, I've always dreamed about being somebody in the science world, maybe even more like into wildlife or, you know, environmental science. And that's actually what I went to school for. And then I'm still finishing up my degree in environmental science. But music, you know, when I started really playing out and just getting a feel for gigging and playing in front of people, that kind of just changed my whole mindset. And I'm kind of like, you know, I'm focusing on music 100%. So definitely music changed my life
Yeah,
completely.
that's awesome. I can see that. All right, that's enough talking. Let's get to some music.
Awesome.
We picked out some covers earlier.
Yes.
Which one would you like to start with?
Let's do the Cheap Trick one if you don't mind.
I love it. Let's do it.
Well, I want you to want me. I need you to need me. I love you to love me. And I'm begging you to beg me. I want you to want me. I need you to need me. And I love you, love me. I put on my own brown suit, put on a brand shirt, I get home early from work. If you say that you love me, tonight, I see you crying. Tonight, I see you crying. I'm feeling all alone without a friend, you know I feel like dying. Tonight, I see you crying. Well, I want you to want me. I need you to need me. I love you to love me. And I'm begging you to beg me. I put on my own brown shoes, I put on a brand shirt, I get home early from work. If you say that you love me, come on. Didn't I see you crying? Didn't I see you crying? I'm feeling all alone without a friend, you know I feel like dying. Didn't I see you cry? Let's hear a little guitar, come on. I put on my own brown shoes, put on a brand shirt, Get home early for work if you say that you love me. Didn't I see you cry? Didn't I see you cry? Feeling all alone without a friend, you know I feel like dying. Didn't I see you cry? 'Cause I want you to want me. I need you to need me. I love you to love me. Oh, I want you to want me. That was beautiful. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, if you are not watching this, maybe you could not see smile plastered on my face the whole time. I mean, this is like you're booked always. You're gonna come back on this show every week, and this is what we're gonna do.
Goodness.
Yeah, this is what we're gonna do.
We'll be happy to be back always.
Beautiful. I love it. That's awesome. We have a lot more to talk about, including some really cool stuff you've got coming up, a giveaway that we're gonna announce that you're kind enough to offer us. So get ready for that. Before we cut to a commercial break, call in 888-565-1470. Chat with Ricky and I. We've got some awesome giveaways we're gonna tell you about right after this quick commercial break. Stick around. The Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute is a professional music therapy practice serving medical, community, and educational settings throughout Southeast Florida. With our experienced team of 11 board-certified music therapists, we use music and research-based therapeutic interventions to help individuals of all ages and abilities reach their goals and increase their quality of life. For more information on our services and programs, please visit our website at pbmti.com. Engage with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or call us at 561-747-9944.
Mom's fall was a wake-up call. We knew she needed help, but we also knew she'd never leave her home.
With jobs and kids, we can't always be there. We weren't sure who to trust to help around the house and make sure she takes her medications.
We did our research and found our answer. Bright Star Care. Their home care teams are led by registered nurses, with help available 24/7.
Thanks to Bright Star Care, Mom can stay where she wants to be, at home.
For a standard of care that raises the bar, call 844 for Bright Star.
You are listening to Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. If you'd like to join the conversation, the toll-free number is 888-565-1470. Now back to the show. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm gonna forget to say my own name because I'm just having way too much fun today. But I am your host. I'm Bree Biden, board certified music therapist. I am so excited to have on my show today Ricky Valito. He's a local singer-songwriter from, I'm guessing, I didn't even ask this, but I'm guessing Hialeah because the name of the band.
You get it right.
Yes, I've been paying attention. So that is, it's awesome that you're here, that you're sharing what you do. You've got so much going on. Why don't you tell us a little bit about some of this upcoming gigs that you've been planning? I spent a little time on your Facebook page today. It looks like you're a very busy person.
I try to be at least.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so the viewers could go over to my website. It's rickyvalido.com, RICKYVALIDO. And all my tour schedule was posted on there and also on other social medias like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So I do a lot of my touring in my home state. Usually everything's basically spread out through South Florida for the most part. But I will be visiting Nashville in November for some showcasing and just kind of getting a feel for the town because I definitely want to go back with my band and, kind of hit the town with, I guess, with a new sound, if you would like to call that.
Okay.
The Hialeah sound, I guess you could call it.
What is the Hialeah sound?
The Hialeah sound, I jokingly tell my guys in the band, it's a mixture of all my influences and all the guys' influences, and somehow at the end of the day, it's still country music. So, I grew up listening to a lot of stuff, but, the guys in the band also grew up listening to a lot of stuff, and none of the guys are country musicians. They really never played country music outside of the project that they're with me right now. But, making them, not making them, but kind of turning them on to listening to old stuff like Waylon Jennings and Merle Haggard and Johnny Cash kind of, put them in a mindset that, hey, you know, this is what country music sounds like, but you could do so much more with it than just make it sound like the twang and pedal steel and fiddle that everybody associates with country music sometimes. So, you know, my goal is to kind of display all my influences and into the sound of the music, but my songwriting is kind of, to me, what sets me apart from other things that I listen to, because sometimes, you know, songwriting is very truthful and very honest, but some of my songwriting also is very you know, it's very imaginative and very like out there. Like I have a song called Hello Darkness, which I hope to play for you today, and it's actually about a paranormal relationship with a ghost. So it's kind of something that's not in a typical topic, I think, in a lot of songwriting that you hear on country music radio today, on, you know, pop country music radio. So I kind of want to bring something different to the listeners and kind of, you know, just showcase what I could bring to the table in country music.
That's awesome. You know, when I was thinking about this earlier as we started to talk about songwriting and some of the great songwriters. I mean, for me, Johnny Cash.
Right.
I'm a big Willie's fan. I love Willie Nelson.
Gotta love the guy.
And John Denver are some of the three best storytellers through songwriting. And I mean, forgive me, I'm not like a huge country fan.
Exactly.
Of like modern day country. I love like those are like my top picks for if I was gonna listen to, and like a
Right.
male voice and a storyteller. That's it for me. It just sets it apart.
I have to agree with you with that, and you know, I don't really do many listening to modern day country. I can't even tell you what it is because I have no recollection of what it sounds like. But I do listen to a lot of the old stuff, and John Denver's a guy that's been something that I've been listening to a lot because my uncle, he suffers from muscular dystrophy, and you know, he spends most of his time indoors on his wheelchair listening to vinyl records, and he's a big John Denver fan. So I've been fortunate enough to listen to a lot of John Denver records.
Oh, it's.
So
I
I'm
mean,
a
talk
fan.
about poetry.
Yeah,
That's some of the best poetry. It's gorgeous.
It is.
It really is. So that's really cool. I love hearing your background, your approach to songwriting, because a lot of times, you know, people who are like really, you know, with these names we're talking about, solid songwriters, James Taylor, you know, is another one.
It's a genius.
They're writing on some incredible life experience, some major ups and downs, and you're young, you know.
Right,
So when
yeah.
it comes to life experiences, so you got to get creative.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
to really be like, all right, I'm not singing about my 3, you know, failed marriages and my
Right,
16
right,
kids, and
right.
also, you know, like you got to sing about what you know because that's from your heart, right?
Exactly.
So that's cool to hear about how you found a creative approach to that.
Yes. I mean,
So yeah, I would love to if you want to kind of introduce again your original, and we'll get right into that.
yes, great. So this is a little song called Hello Darkness. And I kind of wrote this in 15 minutes one day I was in the studio. So it's about a paranormal relationship, and we kind of think my home studio is a little haunted. I'm not sure if you're spiritual or not, but here it goes. Well, hello darkness, it's a hell of a storm. Don't bring the lightning, they show up alone. I'll be waiting when you walk through that door. I've seen your shadow, you've been here before. So let me look in your eyes, take off the gentle disguise. I didn't know why you came. Is this a final goodbye? Gypsy wind, you're like a knife through my spine. Are you a demon within? Are you an angel who lies? Whoa, 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 whoa. Distant voices, it's getting hard to explain. Some call me crazy, a different kind of insane. I'll be waiting
white candle in bed. I've got your favorite perfume, your Beatles cassettes. So let me look in your eyes, take off the gentle disguise. I need to know how you came. Is this a final goodbye? Gypsy wind, you know, like a knife through my spine. Are you a demon within? Are you an angel who lies? Whoa. So hello darkness, it's a hell of a storm. Don't bend the lightning, please show up alone. So hello darkness.
That's awesome. Oh my
Thank you.
gosh, thank you. Thank you guys both for sharing that. Wow, that's where did that come from?
Yeah, that's something that kind of like I really never pre-analyzed or thought about writing about, but just kind of came to me. But you know, I did a lot of listening to Simon and Garfunkel and stuff like that. But I was originally want to write a story about my grandmother, my great grandmother, which I never got to meet. But then these words started coming out, and I was like, maybe there's something spiritual in this building that's giving me a positive energy.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of, designed the song around having a relationship with something spiritual, is what it is, basically. Something
You can
paranormal.
hear that in it, and it's so organic too that it's
Thank you.
again. I think that when people think about writing about life experience, and if you're a certain age, I mean that transcends all of that. If that makes sense, because that was so pure.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was
I think
really,
that's a huge
really cool.
compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I hope I'm being articulate. I'm kind of like in that.
You're
I'm
cool.
still in the moment of it, but
Right.
it's very cool. And the slide came out of like nowhere.
And forgot I had it.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing. I'm like,
Yeah,
the
it's the
slide
slide
guitar is
man.
happening in my studio,
Yeah.
and that's incredible. We just my mom actually was down visiting a couple months, so she came on as my co-host. Oh my god, it was so much fun. And she's taken me to some just incredible concerts. I mean, we saw Robert Plant, we saw, and one of my favorite shows that we ever went to was to see Bonnie Raitt. And so
Right.
when she came on the show, and my mom, she loves to sing, and she's exposed me to all this music, but wouldn't identify necessarily as a musician. I was like, we're doing a duet, like on the show, and she'd never done anything like that before, and we did harmony. It was so fun. So we did Angel from Montgomery, and I was like, I've never wanted to know slide guitar more in my life than I do at this moment. But that fulfilled wanting to have that in that space. That was awesome. Thank you guys so
Thank
much for
you.
sharing that.
Appreciate that.
Is this something that people can find on where can people find your original music?
Yes. I just released my first ever demo album. It's titled I Love Living, after one of the title tracks on the album. It's a 6-track demo album that I self-produced along with Carlos in my home studio. And if you go to my website, again, is www.rickyvalido.com, RICKYVALIDO. People are able to find links on how to purchase the album, and also links to iTunes and Spotify and other places, other outlets where the music's available.
Cool. And you're doing a giveaway for us today.
Yes. If anybody's listening and or giving a call or commenting on any things are going on, I'm actually doing a raffle giveaway for a copy of the CD and a signed poster.
Very
I'll be
cool.
giving that away to any of the listeners that are kind of listening
Awesome.
in or sharing this.
Did you have any are you gonna make it tough for them? Do they have to answer a trivia question, or they just
Actually, what I do is I just do a random selection.
Okay.
I haven't gotten to that yet, but that may be a very good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, especially
help me
with
out with
your
that.
knowledge about some of the classics, make these people do some research here.
Yeah, maybe maybe I'll put out a trivia question or whatever. I just kind of want to engage the guys to come listen to your great radio show. It's pretty cool.
I really appreciate that. Call in 888-565-1470. We've got streaming on Facebook Live at Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute page. Next commercial break, I'll share it to my personal page. I know you guys got links to it on your stuff. So a comment, we're always on Twitter interacting, PBMTI. So any way you want to check in with us that you will get entered into this raffle, you might want to start studying up. There might be a surprise trivia question involved here. I may have started something, So
You definitely did start something.
I did start something.
It'll be cool though.
Yes, perfect. Very cool. So you've got the album that you've just recorded. This is the first time you've gone into a recording studio?
Yes, actually, it was my own home studio. So I use a lot of my equipment, and Carlos brought in a bunch of stuff. He's got microphones and recording equipment from the 60s and 70s. So it's pretty cool to use that stuff. But I'm ready, working on writing other stuff. So there's a new album coming soon.
That's awesome. And is everything on the album original?
Everything on the album is original. Yeah, everything is self-produced, self-written, and it's just kind of a take of my sound and what I am now. And like I said, I'm preparing already for the next one, and I'm excited. I'm excited for what's to come.
That's awesome. So when you go to Nashville, looking into the next month, it's going to be here before we know it.
Yeah.
Is it your originals that you're going to be promoting while you're?
Yeah.
there?
So I'm probably going to be in town doing a couple showcases, acoustic showcases, and then ultimately my goal is to go up there with my full band and actually play some of these venues and get the sound out there, just kind of see what happens,
Cool.
They say Nashville is a place to be for country music.
Absolutely. Have you been before?
I've been once, but I was too young to get into a bar, so I can't even see a band play. So I probably was 15 or 16 years old, and
Oh my
now
gosh.
I'm a little older. I could go back there, maybe buy a beer and play a couple songs.
Yeah, that's so cool. I took my mom last year, 2 years ago, we went to see Paul McCartney play in Nashville. And
Good choice.
Yeah, and it was right at the Bridgestone, which is right on Music Row. So,
Right.
Before and after, we kind of walked up and down, and without even going in to have a drink or have food or whatever, it's just even a shop you walk past, there's live music being created.
Oh, yeah. It's
I talked
crazy.
about a soundtrack earlier. I've never felt like a city had a soundtrack like Nashville. It was just amazing. You couldn't move without hearing this live music being made. And just, so cool.
It is very cool, and I'm excited to be in town, and I'm hopefully more excited to go back and do some stuff.
Yeah, this will not be your last trip there. That's awesome. We're going to talk
thank
a
you.
little bit more about that and some of your upcoming gigs you got locally, what
Yes.
you're looking for the future, and then more music. We have to make more music.
We've got to jam out.
We
right?
got to stick around.
Thank you.
Mom's fall was a wake-up call. We knew she needed help, but we also knew she'd never leave her home.
With jobs and kids, we can always be there. We weren't sure who to trust to help around the house and make sure she takes her medications.
We did our research and found our answer. Bright Star Care. Their home care teams are led by registered nurses with help available 24/7.
Thanks to Bright Star Care, Mom can stay where she wants to be, at home.
For a standard of care that raises the bar, call 844 for Bright Star.
The Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute is a professional music therapy practice serving medical, community, and educational settings throughout Southeast Florida. With our experienced team of 11 board-certified music therapists, we use music and research-based therapeutic interventions to help individuals of all ages and abilities reach their goals and increase their quality of life. For more information on our services and programs, please visit our website at pbmti.com. Engage with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or call us at 561-747-9944. You are listening to Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. If you'd like to join the conversation, the toll-free number is 888-565-1470. Now back to the show. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. You are listening to and watching Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. I'm your host, Bree Bynan. I am here tonight with Ricky Valito. Thank you again, Ricky, so much for being here. And Carlos. Carlos with the surprise slide guitar, pulling it out back there. I'm like, what is he getting in his pocket? Like, what could, he's just, like, I've dropped the pick. I got to find something. Oh, I play slide too. No big deal. Awesome. So fun. So before the commercial break, we were talking about some of your original stuff. You've got this album out, which sounds amazing. 6 original songs, did you say?
Yes, there's 6 of them. I gotta retrace. Like sometimes I forget what I have on there. There is 6 original songs. You know, they're all self-produced and recorded by myself and Carlos, and it's just kind of like an insight of what's to come, and kind of giving the listener a taste of some of the influences that inspire my songwriting and sound within the recordings. But I'm already, planning to write a whole entire new album, hopefully a concept album. I'm really digging those. There's an artist out there called Sturgill Simpson.
Oh,
you guys get to listen to that guy. He's
very cool.
He's got country music pretty much, on his neck. And
I love and talking about how much weight a cover can have in Bloom. It's like,
right,
it's incredible.
Right. Such an incredible
That's
rendition
so awesome.
of that.
Yeah.
And The Promise by a band called who does The Promise originally?
Promise. Some band from the 80s.
Yeah, some band from the 80s.
Then he does a cover. It's like,
right,
it's incredible.
Right, such an incredible
That's
rendition
so awesome.
of that.
Yeah.
And The Promise by a band called who does The Promise originally?
The Promise. Some band from the 80s.
Yeah, some band from the 80s.
Then he does a cover of it?
He completely changed the whole song around. It sounds like his own. I mean, yeah, it was pretty cool listening to One in Bloom. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. So looking forward to your trip to Nashville. You're going to be promoting, and honestly, I mean, even though it's you're very focused. Sounds like I'm going back out there, I'm making a new one. Sometimes your first one can be so important. It's your introduction.
Exactly.
You're totally introducing, and you've got your own package. I mean, that's huge.
Yes. Actually, I'm very hands-on when it comes to, I guess, every aspect of what you call the beginning of a music career, because I think it's very important for the artist to be involved in everything from the creative side to the marketing, because ultimately you get to carve out what you want to do as an artist versus just letting a team of people kind of do it for you.
Right.
Kind of takes away from to me, it feels like it's taken away from the creative side of it. So I'm not, tied into any record label right now or any management team or anything like that. I kind of want to stick it out as an independent artist as far as they'll let me, I guess.
Well, and talk about team. I mean, you seem to have an incredible team, right here. You obviously emotional and everything else supporting
right.
dad
and
that's the side when it's time to make that next step and important. I think a lot of young artists don't have that, and it does not set up, which is really cool for sure.
I think so. So
yeah.
Again, if you go onto my website, rickyvalito.com, you'll be able to see where my upcoming dates are.
Great.
They're very local. For most of the part, I'm playing a lot of South Florida.
Okay.
I'll be at the Margaritaville Hollywood Beach Resort tomorrow night.
Oh, cool.
At the Margaritaville restaurant at 9 p.m. On Saturday, I'll be down at the Tavern in the Grove at 9 p.m. And then on Friday, I'll be at the Grove in the Tavern at 9 p.m. And then on Saturday, I'm doing a charity function for the Leave No Boys Behind. And that's going to be in West Palm Beach at 4 p.m. And people can see all the information as to how to acquire tickets, if there's any entrances, times, locations, by just going onto my website, rickyvalito.com. Or Facebook is rickyvalito.com, Ricky Valito, and Twitter is Ricky Valito too. So just search up my name, and my last name is spelled Valido.
Awesome, very cool. So this charity work, that's just something that I talk a lot about on the show that I'm very passionate about. I feel like we as musicians have this great gift and a great opportunity to be able to share that in a way that gives back to the community. It's not always comfortable or even feasible to give financially or even, give up time in different ways. We're so busy. But as a musician, we have a unique opportunity to use our music to contribute to causes. So
Yes.
I'm thrilled to see, that you're
Yes.
able to have those opportunities.
Yes, so I actually have a little information about my participation in the event
Okay.
here. So I'd like to share it with you guys.
Please do.
Is actually the place of the event is going to be located at 4301 Northwest 48th Avenue in Lauderdale Lakes, and is actually a benefit for a mentoring program for young boys and men who have no male figure in their lives. So I'm kind of hoping our music kind of gives hope to some of the younger guys out there that there is hope and there is a future for everybody, regardless if you're a musician or an aspiring artist or whatever it is that your goals are in life. There's always a bright side to things. So it's a cool
Well,
thing.
they couldn't have asked for a better role model. That's
Thank you.
awesome. That's
Thank you
very
very
cool.
much.
Do you have any special music plan that's kind of along that theme or with a message like that?
Yes, actually putting together different ideas for my next, I guess you call album or whatever. I do want to touch on different topics, even environmental ones. You have global warming happening and stuff like that. People are not always relevant to topics like that, but I believe they're important. That's what makes our Earth such a special place, is our natural resources. So I think I might be aiming towards that kind of
Cool.
idea.
That's awesome. I'm a fan. I'm sold.
Thank you.
I am absolutely sold. This is so cool. So, the last hour, if you're just tuning in now, you've missed something really special. So, we are airing live, Facebook Live at Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute page. It'll get archived there. We archive our shows at our website, pbmti.com. We do still have an amazing giveaway out there. You can call into the show, 888-565-1470, or connect with us on social media to be entered into a raffle / possibly amazing trivia question that will be given away, that Ricky will be giving away a copy of his album as well as a signed poster. But check out what we got going on in social. We've linked up to Ricky's page as well. You'll see a list of his shows that are going on in South Florida. I'm sure he'll update there on how Nashville is going, all the amazing things happening. Without further ado, we got like 5 minutes left. Let's take it out
Awesome.
with music.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I love it. Want to do some Johnny Cash?
Let's do a little Johnny Cash, a little Ring of Fire.
I like it.
Well, love is a burning thing, and it makes a fire ring. It bound by wild desire. I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into that burning ring of fire. I went down, down, down. The flames went high. And it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire. The taste of love is sweet when hearts like ours meet. I feel for you like a child. Oh, the fire. I fell into that burning ring of fire. I went down, down, down. The flames went high. And it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire. The ring of fire. Let's do a little guitar, come on. I fell into that burning ring of fire. I went down, down, down. The flames went high. And it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire. The ring of fire. The ring of fire. The ring of fire.
awesome. My gosh. Thank you guys
Thank
so
you.
much. This is so fun. Like I said, I wish it could just be every week. Just make me so happy. Really, really incredible stuff. I know in a limited time, we could go on for hours with all the cool things you guys have got going on,
Yes.
and especially focusing on the future, because you've got, like a year and a half that you've been doing this?
I've been hitting the scene for about a year.
And
I think going on a year and a half. yeah.
many incredible things to come. And again, as a tribute to the hard work that you've put into it, and your passion, but also having the support system you have. It's a recipe for success. It really
Thank
is.
you.
One more really quick time, if you could give people how they can get in contact with you, find out more about
Awesome,
where you're
yes.
going to be.
Stay updated. My website is rickyvalido.com, is RICKYVALIDO. And you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, you name it. Just search my name, Ricky Valido, and you'll be able to be updated with upcoming shows, news blasts of what's happening with future goals and stuff like that I'm aiming for. So it'd be really cool to keep connected. So it's rickyvalido.com. Look me up on Facebook, Ricky Valido. That's RICKYVALIDO.
Thank you again, Ricky and
Thank
Carlos,
you.
for being on today. This was awesome. I'm so excited to hear about your future success. I really do hope you come back and share it with us.
We'll be happy to be back.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. Thank you. And thank you all for listening. We'll see you again next week. Have a wonderful week. Take care. Thank you for listening to Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. We hope you enjoyed today's program and discovered new ways to bring music, art, and dance into your home or workplace. Please find a copy of today's show at pbmti.com. If you have any questions for our guest or myself, please email me at Bree, that's BREE, at pbmti.com, or call the Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute at 561-747-9944. Tune back in next week for an all-new live show. See you then.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Talk 1470 WWNN Pompano Beach, Boca Raton, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
From simple sprains to highly complex surgeries, the Orthopedic Center of Palm Beach County has been serving the South Florida community for over 65 years with the finest orthopedic and pediatric care. Our physicians are each experts in their field, providing a complete